What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video. Now, I debated whether to make this video or not because, to be honest, you guys know I'm a DSP detractor. I'm not really a quartering detractor. I know of him. I know who he is. I know his grift, but, he's more in the political realm. And I tend not to really jump on that bandwagon. My views on those grifters and so on. So I've never really delved too much into the whole quartering thing. But sadly, in the last year or so, the quartering has turned into DSP Part 2. That's right. He has become one of the biggest locals out there. And his actions in the last 2 weeks have just cemented him as one of the worst people out there. Yes, that's right. He's one of the worst people out there, where he is, one, a snitch, a rat, and also is fighting with YouTube. That's it. We're not fighting with YouTube, but fighting with content creators that cover him, and has been channel striking these channels, mainly Kino Casino. Now, if you've been following any of the events with Kino Casino, you see that Kino Casino's clip channel, Kino Casino Clips, was taken down. It's no longer on YouTube. Also, Andy Warski's personal channel on YouTube, which was unbanned several months ago, because if you don't know, about 6 months ago, YouTube decided that they were going to unban many content creators that were banned previously under, it was a purge mostly of right-leaning thinking content creators. This was after COVID. COVID decided they were just going to just outright demonetize and ban people that either talked about COVID or they thought maybe right-leaning. So Andy Warski, I think, fell under that guide, and he was removed from YouTube. But he was unbanned. He was brought back on, and he hasn't even posted any content on that channel for, I think, like 5 years. So it's not like an active channel. But anyway, Jeremy decided that his feelings were hurt because Kino Casino decided to cover the situation with his best friend and apparently his wife. And there were some allegations out there that apparently Jeremy is a cuckold. And his wife is out there, flying around with men and so on. Now, if you know Kino Casino, you know that Kino Casino is mostly a comedic style channel where they pretty much talk about everyone, razz everyone. And yeah, from time to time, they do take it a little too far. They do. They don't dox people. They don't do any of the severe, crazy shit that some content creators do. But, they tend to sometimes push the bounds a bit. But still, I think they stay within the frame of being okay. Like they're not doing anything where I would warrant that they should get either their channel removed or banned from YouTube or what have you, right? So Jeremy recently decided he was going to start threatening Kino Casino and saying that, if they kept at it, talking about his wife and so on, that he was going to have their channel removed and he was going to get them kicked off a Kick. Lo and behold, out of nowhere, the other day, I believe it was Wednesday or Thursday, Jeremy decided to double down on that and actually get both the Kino Casino clip channel removed from YouTube and also Andy Warski's channel. And I'm pretty sure he also tried to get PPP's channel, Kino Cathedral, taken down as well. And they probably couldn't do that, or he may not be aware of it. I'm not sure. And he was also in conversations with the owner of Kick to get the channel removed off the Kick, which I don't think that's happening. I don't think, Kick's leadership is going to ban Kino Casino. At that, recently they've been making them the highlighted stream of the platform. So it seems like Kick is enjoying all of the attention that they're getting from the whole Kino Casino Jeremy Hambley stream or drama. Now, Jeremy, under pressure from his contemporaries, Keo versus Babyface, Yellow Flash, many of these content creators who actually talk about cultural issues, talk about entertainment, talk political, they've come out all in unison and basically condemn Jeremy for his actions. They think what he did was wrong, it was uncalled for. And say what you might want to say about Kino Casino, but I personally believe they have a right to say pretty much whatever they want to say within terms of service, especially if you do. I think they have every right to do so. Everything that I've seen so far, that I've watched with the whole the quartering and the Kino, to me has been within bounds. But Jeremy decided his feelings were hurt, and it was time for him to swing out his e-penis and make an example of Kino Casino. And he thought that he was big enough of a content creator and had enough of a following that he would be fine. That it wouldn't blowback on him. And sadly, Jeremy, the one thing you've never noticed is that it always blow back. Whenever you use a lawfare or you use, partner managers to take down channels, you know, it always bounce back and hurts you, right? And of course, the pressure recently has caused him to ban people. I mean, he's been going on the banning screen on his live stream. He's also shut off his comment section on his Twitch, so you can't even reply to it unless I think you're a subscriber to him on Twitch. So of course he's trying to weather the storm by ignoring it, and it's just not working out. And pundits, legal pundits, I think Legal Mind had a post out there. Kino Casino came out there. They apparently have proof that Jeremy is lying. Now, the little twist here that I'm going to watch is apparently Jeremy decided to come out and say he did not flag Kino Casino. He did not contact anyone at YouTube support to report the channel. Well, Kino Casino was actually, I guess, watching their live stream. Excuse me, not Kino Casino. Kiwi Farms, of course, watches everything. And they were looking at his live stream when Jeremy decided to share, or he was pulling something up in his Gmail. And lo and behold, what do you see here? Emails to YouTube support. That's right. Emails to YouTube support. Thanks for the report on YouTube. Right here, folks. Thanks for the report. If you don't know what this is specifically, this is when you flag a video or you make a report, you actually get an email from YouTube that actually tells you, thank you for the report, and then it gives you details of the information, tells you next steps kind of thing. So apparently, this was a flat out lie. Jeremy apparently is in contact with YouTube. Now, we don't have the contents of the actual emails, but it's safe to say, because your YouTube bar here is going to pull up your most recent, either your most recent emails, your recent sites, or whatever. So lo and behold, right here, it shows clearly Jeremy got caught, first of all, lying. Now, this is an issue because now it's becoming a legal matter here, Now, the legal matter here is that, one, Jeremy has false flagged and taken down Kino Casino. He's made reports that were, can be deemed, not in good faith, pretty much in bad faith. And as a public figure, he decided to go out there and make a statement on it and say that he was not the one reporting it, right? So, this opens up Jeremy to legal action. It does. And if Kino Casino wants to take legal action, they can. And at this point right now, Jeremy is so hated by everyone that I'm pretty sure there would be a legal team or a law firm that would be willing to take this just solely based on contingency, just to shove it in Jeremy's fat, stupid face, right? Now, I've debated whether to make a video on this because it seems like Jeremy is now flagging clip channels, smaller channels talking about it. He is just going on a tear. He's trying to shut this down and trying to show everyone that if you would talk about this issue, if you talk about not only his wife, but if you talk about the whole Kino Casino and the whole reporting to YouTube, that he's going to report you as well and ban you. Well, you know what, Jeremy? You can fuck off with that. I don't give a fuck. So, I wanted to show this real quick. There's a pretty good video out here that we're going to watch. Shout out to Shockmouth. It's a quick little 5-minute video, but it actually shows where Jeremy actually, basically put his foot up his ass and showed a little bit of his history and actually showed that, yes, he had been reporting. Now, what has he been reporting? I don't know, but, you could put two and two together. He's been feuding with Kino Casino. Clip channels of his, clip channels derogatory to him have been going down. So, you can easily put two and two together and say that Jeremy is reporting someone. And that someone, I believe, is Kino Casino. So let's watch this video. Let's get into it.
Whoops, not that one.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Yes, he did.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Shockmail's News, where we take the news that is too long and you didn't read and give it to you straight. The Kino Casino channel has been taken down and or terminated from YouTube. Days after the quartering made threats that he would get it taken down by reaching out to his contacts. And some
Which is true. The idiot put it out there, actually spoke to multiple people, made the threat. Now, just to, you know what I mean? First of all, you shouldn't be making threats, okay? Especially illegal ones. But if you're going to make a threat, maybe not announce publicly. You know what I mean? Don't announce it publicly. Just keep it to yourself. But, people like Jeremy can't help themselves. They think that they can pretty much get away with anything they want to get away with. So they don't care if they're public about what they're doing. So Just a bit of advice: if you're going to do something like that, make sure you never go public.
Damning evidence that the quartering has been behind it all along has just surfaced, which we will get into in this video, but let's quickly go through the events as they unfolded. The other day, we covered the feud between Kino Casino and the quartering, and after the quartering apologized for his behavior, I honestly thought this was going to be the end of the story, but this is the internet, where the stories just never end. The day after the quartering apologized, the Kino Casino clip channel was deleted from YouTube. Andy Warski announcing it on Twitter saying, the quartering has flagged the Kino Casino clip channel under the guise of ban evasion, when nobody, including the owner of the channel, is ban evading. YouTube, this is an attack on us and a false flag on our channel. Everyone at Team YouTube to help spread the message. And that YouTube channel does not belong to Andy Warski or PPP. It belonged to their editor that they hired, and it was linked to that editor's Google account.
Yeah, apparently that is the case. I haven't seen any proof, but my understanding is that Kino Casino actually didn't even own that channel. The editor owned that channel. They owned that AdSense, and the arrangement was that Kino Casino would stream on Kick, and then any clips that they post on the YouTube channel, that's how the editor would get paid. So that was the financial agreement between these individuals, which, yeah, I get that. I get that now. I can see how that's the case. So not only did quartering flag Kino Casino thinking he was hurting them, he didn't even hurt them. He hurt this poor editor who's just making a living, has a family from my understanding, and that's who he hurt. He really didn't hurt Kino Casino, because Kino Casino is still streaming on Kick. At that, he's helped Kino Casino, because during their last show, I think they had about 14,000 people watching their live stream, and on average, they get between 5,000 and 7,000. So if anything, this kind of blew up in your face. And not that, you have almost the entire internet, 99. You have people who hate Kino Casino, like Jarbo. You have Ethan Ralph. You have all of these content creators that hate Kino Casino actually coming out and defending Kino Casino, saying what Jeremy is doing is wrong. You know what I mean? And that's saying something, especially from Jarbo. And I don't know too much about Jarbo, but Jarbo did that. That's what killed his career, where he decided he wanted to use, the reporting system to report channels and so on that were critical of him. That's saying something.
But the problem is the channel doesn't belong to either of them. It belongs to the editor. Now that is his sole income, and he's just literally ripped that man's life apart within like that.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
He gave up his whole career to do this editing job. He owns everything. And because of circumstances like Jeremy doing this is what the outcome is.
So the actions of the person who did get the channel deleted, and we're all trying to figure out who this guy is, has affected the lives of not only PPP and Andy Warski, but it's also nuked the income of their editor. 18 minutes after Andy Warski announced the termination of the Kino Casino clip channel, the quartering tweeted a seemingly unrelated birthday celebration post holding what looks like a pack of casino cards. 12 minutes after that, Andy Warski posted this video explaining.
Hey everyone, as you all probably seen, the Kino Casino clip channel was flagged down by the quartering. We weren't banned off of YouTube. We weren't ban evading. You know, I was unbanned. I tweeted about this 3 days ago and I put the link. Well, someone just sent me a little tweet there, and I checked the link. Not even terminated, just it's not appearing now.
When faced with the accusation that he was responsible for the Kino Casino channel being deleted, the quartering had this to say. I had nothing to do with it. I was at dinner all night, lol. Yeah, because we don't have this marvelous invention where we can just get the internet out of our pocket anywhere in the world. Pretty sure they taunted the public, telling people to flag them. I have already shown that I didn't. They really want it to be me. Sadly, it wasn't.
Yeah, he tried to do this lame-ass attempt where he did a screenshot or did a video. Didn't really show anything of some reporting history. First of all, if you contact your partner manager, which you have, you won't see that in the report. When you file a report with YouTube, like we actually, as a partner, like I'm a partner, I can contact YouTube and file a report. That won't show up on my report history, okay? The only thing that shows up on report history is that if you're watching a video and you click report and you report someone through that system, yes, it'll show up in your report history. But if you contact YouTube Partner Program via the DM system, or you actually have a rep like the quartering does, where you can probably text him or email him, that will not show up. So you showing that shows nothing, Jeremy, okay? It shows nothing. It just actually shows that you're just disingenuous, right? But like we said, the other day when he was streaming and he was searching for something, you can clearly see that he has been reporting channels via his YouTube. I'm not sure if he's doing it through his quartering channel, or if he's doing it through his Midwestly channel, or if he's doing it because he has several channels, by the way. He just doesn't have one channel on YouTube. He has about 3 or 4. Most of them are defunct, but they're still active in, like, you could still actually go see them. They're still part of the YouTube. So he could actually use those to actually do flagging. But my guess is that he contacted YouTube either via email or through his partner manager and actually reported them. That's why you're not seeing it in his report history. So good try, Jeremy. But that's easily that's easily just you can debunk that. The only way you can actually prove that you didn't do it is if you show your email history or you reach out to your partnering manager and get them to confirm that you didn't contact them to get Kino Casino removed. Or you reach out to your partnering manager, and you try to get them to get Kino Casino, try to get their channel brought back. Again, man, you're playing with fire, man, and no one's buying it. I mean, not even people that, and the funny thing is that even people that rely on Jeremy for clout, you know what I mean? The right-wing pundits that are a little bit smaller than Jeremy, that use Jeremy for, to have, to get some clout. Even they're coming out and saying Jeremy is in the wrong. Yellow Flash is someone that's worked with Jeremy, and Yellow Flash came right out and just said, dude, what you're doing here is wrong. You are in the wrong, and of course, instead of Jeremy addressing it, he's saying, oh, Yellow Flash is taking sides. I thought he was my friend, and basically threatening him, saying that, oh, we're not going to do any more content together. You're not going to grift off of me to make any money. You know what I mean? That's the type of shit that, he's weaponizing the opportunity of other content creators. He's weaponizing that to shut them up from criticizing him. And you don't do that unless you're guilty, okay?
Wait, what do you mean sadly? I'm just realizing this now. What do you mean sadly it wasn't you? What the fuck? Hey guys. Hey, I didn't murder that person, but boy gee, I wish I did. But yeah, as we all know, this wasn't going to stop the accusations. So just over 12 hours later, the Quartering posted this proof that his flag history is clean. He showed these 3 channels' flag history, and as seen here, they are in fact clean of any history of reports. He said, sigh, nobody's actually interested in the truth, so I don't know why I bother, because these psychos will just move the goalpost again. Here's my updated report history. And then he shows these screen recordings from 3 different channels that I've got up on screen here. However, and most people are aware of this, he has more than 3 channels. So people were still clamoring for more proof. He did not provide.
Yeah, I believe he has like 5 to 6 different channels. One is just for Pokemon. I think one is for video games. He has the Midwestly channel. He has the Quartering channel. I think he has a Clips channel, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, and these have been created throughout the years. Like I've known about Jeremy for about 10 years, about 8 years or so on. That I've watched some of his content in the past, and pretty much it's not great content. It's pretty much he's basically like DSP when it comes to reading gaming news. He reads Twitter news. He reads political stories, gives a little bit of commentary, and then moves on. And he creates 10 to 15-minute clips just to spam YouTube for ad revenue.
Such proof. However, just under 24 hours after he posted these flag histories, and it only came out moments before I started this video, some keen eyes uncovered something from a stream that the Quartering did just 2 days ago. Roll it.
Whoops, not that one. Let's see here.
Now, did you catch that? If we freeze it there,
yes, we did.
We can see in the autofill an email to his email address called.
All right, stop right there. There you go. Reporting. That's right. Reporting. That's right. There you go, folks. Why would you have that in your email? What are you reporting specifically? Huh? And again, I know this is specifically for reporting videos or channels or making a complaint. This isn't about you reporting that your sub count is wrong or something like that. This is when you're actually reporting channels to YouTube or videos.
Called MTG Headquarter, and it has an email with the subject line, "Thanks for your report to YouTube." What is MTG Headquarter? That's the email the Quartering uses for his YouTube channel based on Magic the Gathering, called Unsleeved Media. And if we check the icons of the 3 channels the Quartering provided as proof, they seemingly look different to the one that Unsleeved Media uses. Now, is this enough proof? Well, this evidence, as well as the threats he made days before the channel was taken down,
It doesn't matter. It clearly shows, you know what I mean? When there's smoke, there's fire. Here's the only one. He was the only one threatening Kino Casino. Literally after his threats, it actually played out exactly how he said it was going to be. He was going to take their YouTube channel down, which he did, and then he was going to try to take their Kino Casino Kick channel down, which he didn't. Which I don't think that's going to happen. So again, you know, when you make threats like this, you should just shut the fuck up, keep them to yourself. You know, don't open your mouth, don't come out public. So you seem guilty. People are automatically going to assume that it's you. And then now with this bit of proof recording, I'm about 95% sure it was you. Now, I was willing to give you the benefit of the doubt and say maybe it was, you know, your viewers that decided to mass flag Kino Casino, and that's why it was taken down. I can see that happening. But now with this, and it came out that you made those threats against Kino Casino, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire, brother. And I have a feeling you had something to do with this, okay? You don't have clean hands when it comes to this. Now, you know, say what you will about Kino Casino. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people don't like Kino Casino, but I personally believe they didn't do anything wrong. They didn't do anything that would warrant their channel being taken down. They stayed within the YouTube's terms of service. There's no reason why either Worski's channel or the Clips channel was taken down. They didn't violate any rules. They were in good standing. They didn't have any warnings. They didn't have any community guideline strike. Nothing. This reminds me of what happened to me last year where I got my channel demonetized because a bunch of people decided to report my channel because a bunch of Keemstar viewers that like Keemstar decided to mass report me because they felt like I was in a feud with Keem. It wasn't Keem, it was his viewers, you know what I mean? But of course, people just automatically assumed that it was Keemstar. Now, after talking to YouTube, talking to Keem, whatever, you know, I've realized that that wasn't the case, that it wasn't Keem. Now, a lot of people are going to assume it is, right? And I tried to clear the record up as much as I could when it came down to it, but it is what it is. People just dislike Keem, and, you know, when anything happens like that, you know, he's going to kind of get the blame for it, right? So I'm particularly a little sensitive when it comes to using your power to take down channels, especially smaller channels, because that's abuse, that's illegal. You know what I mean? And I really hope that Kino Casino manages to find some legal team that decides that they're willing to fucking fight Jeremy on this shit and file a lawsuit based on contingency. And I hope that they take his stupid ass to the cleaners, because it's people like him that make the space fucking terrible. You know, not only do you have to worry about YouTube's terms of service, but you have to worry about assholes like this who feel like they need to patrol the internet and need to control free speech. And this is classic coming from Jeremy, from the man who fucking made his channel, his business about, oh, my channel's under attack by the woke left. The man who's talked about free speech, right? The man who's bitched and yelled at YouTube, Rumble, whoever, Twitch, when before Elon owned it, about censorship and banning people and not allowing people to earn a living, you know, doing commentary or stating their opinion. This man has spent years attacking people that he thought was hurting his business, and look at him now. He's sitting there attacking people, taking down their channel, taking down their livelihood, because he wants to stop free speech. Regardless of whether it's true or not, that your wife is, you know, cucking you or whatever, right? Besides it's true, again, all that is protected under free speech, Jeremy, all right? If you don't like it, you can do a couple things, brother. One, you can ignore it. One, you can refute it. You can do three things. One, you can fight it, you know, just go back and forth, fight it with Kino Casino. Two, you can ignore it, which would be my recommendation. Or three, shut down your YouTube channel and go get a regular job, all right? God, you don't fucking use, you know, the YouTube reporting system. You don't use your partner. You don't use your partnering manager to attack another channel. You just don't do that. And it's not like they were doxing you, you know what I mean? Like shit like that, I can understand why someone would try to get them deplatformed. I get that. That's not what's happening here. These are two guys that are making fun of you, and you don't like it. And the best part about all this is that he spent years crapping and shitting all over everyone. How many times has he talked about Brie Larson? How many times has he talked about AOC and her husband, or cuck husband? That's perfectly fine, but when someone makes those same accusations against him, then that's a problem. Anyway, I think I've gone pretty long on this. Big ups to Shockmouth. It was a pretty short video, but I did like it. It was well done. I'll link his channel here if you want to check out the rest of the video. It's not long. I think we caught most of it, but I think he highlighted the situation and what recently came out. So anyway, quartering, do everyone a favor, brother. You need to come out. You need to apologize, and you need to do everything you can to make sure that you get Kino Casino's channel back. And lastly, never do this shit ever again, okay? If you have an inkling that you want to use fucking, you want to use a reporting system to take someone down, you need to shut off the internet and go for a fucking walk, all right? Get some exercise, lose some weight, or go bang your wife, all right? Maybe bang your wife, and maybe the cuck allegations will go away. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.